Once you have an animal trapped in the corner, it starts to just flail and try to take out everything around it. And right now, Verlisify has hit that age of his YouTube career, where the only time he's ever relevant is going after the biggest creator right now in Pokemon, which is the VGC darling WolfeyVGC. He's claiming that Wolf is ruining competitive Pokemon. Competitive Pokemon is bigger than it's ever been already, so just on face value, it's a stupid thing to even say. If you think I'm beating a dead horse going after Verlisify, he has entire series of basically just criticizing Wolf. And I don't want to go through all the videos. I'm going to be 100% honest with you. I just can't do it. Every video is probably going to be the same thing anyways. What Verlisify does, if someone likes something, he's just going to criticize it. Right now, ZA, he already is calling a massive disappointment. We know nothing about it yet other than what the world looks like in the starters. But he did the same thing with Legends Arceus. Legends Arceus came out, everyone loved it, so he had to hate it because he has to be the contrarian in the topic. And I get why, because it gives you a niche in the Pokemon community. You're the Pokemon player that loves everything that the community hates and hates everything the community loves. It always makes you somewhat relevant on the topic. I am going to go through his latest 2 videos because one, he wants Penguin Zero to get involved in this. Dude, Verlisify, you don't have a good front face in this community. You are looked at as a negative to the Pokemon community. So if anyone takes your advice, it's not going to be the bigger YouTubers outside of our community. They look in the community, they see people like M&JTV. They see people like even like a John Stone. They see people like what used to be J-Wits. They're not going to look at you. You are a toxic member of this community at this point. So you're not going to get the attention of a Penguin Zero because even if everything you say in these 2 videos are true, your reputation is so slaughtered that it doesn't even matter. Before I get into the video, let me talk about my history with Verlisify. Biggest video on my channel ever. 3 years ago, I was criticizing him. I think I had a niche that I never went for a personal attack on him. I didn't even in the comments below. I constantly was like, he has a bad opinion. That's all I want to talk about. I do not care about his personal life. I don't like people criticizing his personal life. I think it takes away from his content, which I think is enough to criticize. So I think that gave me a little bit of a niche here, and if I laid into it and I kept the hate train going, I probably could have popped my channel off at this point. Now, I will also admit, I used to be a Verlisify fan growing up. I thought that he had a really good point about how the Pokemon community was so two-faced about the subject of cheating, where they would say, you cannot cheat, you cannot cheat, you cannot cheat, but then they made competitive Pokemon so hard that it almost required people to cheat to play. Well, then people would cheat, and then they wouldn't even call out people who were cheating. So, Verlisify would come online and go, this guy was cheating, and everyone would jump down Verlisify's throat about, well, you should be allowed to. It's too hard to make a competitive team anyway. It's like, that's not the point, though. The rules are the rules. If you think the rules should change, advocate for a rule change. And I used to always defend him on that. He had a good niche in the community of like, listen, I'm just anti-cheating. Just don't cheat. Like, I want to be a good VGC player. Just, I can't do that if other people are cheating and I have to play by the rules. He should just stuck with that. But the issue was then he had to attack everyone. He was hammer and everything looked like a nail. He had to go for the attack on everyone. And he just became known as that toxic member of the community to the point that if you watched him, you stopped watching him because it was like, I don't even want to be associated with it. Now, I thought Verlisify was really good back in the day. He wasn't like every other YouTuber that just said, here are the best moves to put on Pokemon. He had weird sets, and what I loved was, I remember that, I don't even know who the YouTuber was. There was a YouTuber who criticized the sets he made for, I think it was a Venusaur. I was like, this is so stupid, why would you ever run this? Ran it in like 2 competitive battles and swept with it. And then was like, see, his team is so bad, but I can make it work. It's like, no, the point was he was making something unique that could work. And you proved that it could work, and then you still criticized him anyways. So there's probably, way back in the day, you'll probably find comments of me defending Verlisify. But then it just got to the point, the Legends Arceus was the best example ever of Legends Arceus comes out, and the Pokemon community is like, oh my god, we got something new, it runs good, it's gorgeous, it has a great game mechanic, like, it's new, it was a fresh start for the Pokemon community, and he had to hate on it. And then, if you go back and watch my video, like I said, I'm going to self-plug here, he barely did anything right in the game. He would criticize every little detail, and then he's like, oh yeah, I never even completed World 1. Like, obviously, he didn't care. He was going to make a video. It did not matter how this game was released. He was going to hate Legends Arceus because people already liked it. And you could see he already hedging his bets right now. Hedging his bets. I think I said hedging his bets right now. He wants to hate Legends CA already, because that's what he needs to do. Legends CA comes out, everyone loves it. He needs to be that counter voice to get that audience attention. I feel bad for him. I mean, this is a guy who, his channel does significantly better than mine, so don't get me wrong. I think he has one video over 50,000 views in the past, 2 months, where his most popular, he was in the millions on multiple videos. Like, he has a pretty good catalog of content here. He was relevant in the Pokemon community at one point, and now he's just not. He's only relevant now when he attacks bigger people, and people feel the need to defend them. Why am I defending Wolf? Wolf, to me, got me more into competitive Pokemon than I have ever been in my life. I've always liked the competitive scene a little bit, like I would watch big tournaments, whatnot, but Wolf was that person now that you can back up and you could cheer for. My fiance, when she watches Pokemon tournaments with me, she knows who Wolf is, she recognizes him, because he's the face of that community at this point. Now you can say that's a good thing, you can say that's a bad thing, but I think every community needs that person. In MLB, you got the Dodgers, they're the best. They're going to win more championships than probably any other team in this decade. So when you got another team going against them, you can root for the underdog. You see this a lot in Wolf tournaments where if he's in Final Four, sometimes the crowd is cheering for the other person, especially if it's a hometown, local. But Wolf also is bringing unique teams. He's bringing Parish Trap teams. No one has ever won a tournament with a Parish Trap team, like a major tournament, let me be clear. Wolf has done it, 4 times now? And the person who's won the most tournaments ever, regionals, let's be clear, that certain type of tournament, is up to 5. Wolf is at 9 or 10. Wolf is at 10 now, actually, because that was the big deal about him winning the last one. So, Wolf is slowly going to become also the heel, in the WWE terms, of the community. He's going to be that big dog that when people beat, it's going to be, oh my god, you beat Wolf. You took Wolf out of Worlds. That's going to be a big thing. No matter what, that is good for the community. So this video, I'm kind of just curious on what he accuses him as cheating. I'm curious, the topic matter. And in this video is going to be more, there's no way that VGC is dying. And I'll try to look up some stats and stuff as we go. Let's begin.
So now, because of that, whenever Pokemon gets attention, it's always like, oh, you gotta work with Wolf, you gotta work with Wolf, he's the Pokemon champion, he's the GOAT, he's got the world champion difference. No, he's just a cheater. And I think that instead of collabing with him, Charlie needs to make a video fully exposing, being like, oh, Pokemon's got a cheating problem, the Wolf Glick situation's crazy. Moist Critical is playing Pokemon Showdown. Cool, I've always said that competitive Pokemon needs more mainstream exposure, but the problem is, inside of the Pokemon community, it's very easy to fall into the wrong places and have the wrong people give you bad ideas. So yeah, everyone is talking about WolfeyVGC for VGC and Blunder or Pokéaim for more Pokemon Showdown. Now, the biggest problem out of them is Wolf Glick. Who's Wolf Glick from the outside? He is the current largest Pokemon VGC player, but he's a complete fraud. He has only gained his attention from lying, cheating, and stealing. He leverages...
So he's already just right from the back. I want you to see the argument style. Who is this person? Here's every bad trait I can say about him. That is an argument style that you have to employ because it's the best way to shut down anything that he says. this guy's a liar, a cheater, a thief. So if you support him, you're supporting a liar, a cheater, and a thief. If he says anything to the contrary, well, I already say he's a liar, of course he's gonna lie. It makes the defense, like, Wolf can't defend himself already because of the topic matter. It's, I don't know what the actual situation is, but it's the question of, like, when did you stop beating your wife? There's no good answer to that, because if you go, well, I've never beat my wife, it's like, oh, why are you denying that you did it? But if you say, well, I did stop doing it, you're admitting that you did a bad action that you no longer did, but it still makes you sound like a bad person. There's questions like that out there where no matter how you answer, it's bad. He is setting Wolf up in that way, which is a good argument style. It's just very toxic. Also, what he just said is a perfect example of why he's aiming for him. If anyone outside the community is going to get into competitive Pokemon at all, you have to go through Wolf. I mean, it's, like I said, it'd be like going to baseball and not knowing who Shohei Ohtani is, or Mike Trout, or Bryce Harper. I mean, it'd be like going into basketball and not knowing the Michael Jordans, or the LeBron James, or the Shaquille O'Neals. Like, that's Wolf in this community. He is our top player. And not only our top player, top content creator as well. His videos are very digestible. I mean, you can see right on the screen here, 2.8 million views for a tournament video, 3 million views, tournament video, 1.2 million views, tournament video, another tournament video, 2 million views. Like, he's constantly, that's good for the community. 2 million people are watching competitive Pokemon because of Wolf. Now, let's see how he thinks he's cheating, because I guess that makes the difference.
His Pokemon World Champion title from 2016, where he cheated to win that event, and then used that to exploit the YouTube algorithm, as well as get non-stop promotion from the Pokémon Company, which is also why VGC, from the outside, it's very easy to, like, not understand how horrible things really are. The Pokemon...
Are we really just going to go off of his Raichu still? Wasn't it his Raichu? This is back when I was a Verlisify fan. Yeah, Wolf had a Raichu that was bred down, like, I don't even think it had any special moves or anything, but it had a Pokeball that could not possibly be on it without it being, at one point in its family line, hacked. So, eventually something had to have either got a trade to Wolf or bred by a teammate or something. But the Pokemon was legit. This is super hard to explain. Oh my god. God, I hate talking about Pokemon cheating. So in Pokemon, there are rules to constructing a Pokemon. So a Pokemon can have legitimate stats, legitimate gender, legitimate ability. It's a legit Pokemon that you can get in-game. But it's hard to get in-game. Take a Calyrex Ice, let's say. Calyrex Ice almost always runs a negative speed IVs. Mine, for example, has no speed investment whatsoever. It is as slow as a Calyrex Ice could possibly be. The reason for this is I got really lucky that my friend caught one that had no speed IVs, and she doesn't play competitive. So she's like, oh, I'll give this to you. Perfect, thank you. But for people who play competitive, that reset might take a couple days. You are looking for a very specific Calyrex Ice. And currently, in-game, there is no way to lower your IVs. So if you catch one with some speed IVs, that Calyrex will never become slower at that point. So if you want to run the slowest one in the world, like I do, to outspeed me in Trick Room, or to at least tie with me in Trick Room, you need to have the same Calyrex that I do. Now, what people will say is if I'm going to say illegally, if I make that Calyrex, if I go into a different program, code that Calyrex, and then put it into my game, that is a cheated mon. In the Pokemon rules, I am not allowed to use that Pokemon. And from an outsider's perspective, it gives me no competitive advantage. Other than the fact that it was not a legit mon, and now I'm using something that is not allowed in the tournament. So am I cheating? Yes, I'm cheating. I'm using something that's not allowed. Does that give me an advantage? No. And for Wolf's situation, it's not even like the Pokemon had an advantage. It was in a Pokeball that it couldn't be in. Because to get that Pokemon in that Pokeball, it had to be bred down. And when it's bred down, I believe the Pokeball is passed from the mother's side. So it wasn't even the illegal Pokemon. The parent was the illegal Pokemon. But if the parent's illegal, that makes all the offsprings illegal too. It's super confusing. Let me just admit that right away. And at the end of the day, it's pretty much pointless. My argument used to be, you had to restrict that because the people who would cheat, the people who had 6 mons that they could make in a half hour and code into their game, they could now play with a team and adjust the stats on their team and whatnot perfectly. Whereas I would have to go and if I wanted my Calyrex Ice now to have slightly more speed, I would have to reset my game, go make a whole nother account or something to go get that Calyrex again. In my mind, that was what the cheating was. Is you have more time to adjust your team because you are not restricted to following the rules like I am. Looking back at it, I will always argue they should have just made it easier. They should have made it easier to make competitive mons. And now I also have the argument in Sword and Shield and Scarlet and Violet, making a competitive team is so easy that now you have no reason to cheat. Back in the DS era, I understand why people cheated. Because if you didn't cheat, you literally had to dedicate a work life to Pokemon. And Pokemon tournaments weren't even big back then. So you're dedicating your life to make a Pokemon team to go to a tournament that someone who probably hacked the team in has a better team than you. It was very toxic for the community, and I agree with Verlisify back then. Nowadays, it doesn't matter. As long as you're using a legitimate team, everyone can make a legitimate team, and it probably takes... If I made a full Trick Room team, I could probably do it in about 6 hours. And that's going out, catching all 6 of those Pokemon. With legendaries, it's a little different, but that's a whole topic for another day.
Pokémon Company you know and love is provably corrupt and allows their friend to cheat in events to win tens of thousands of dollars in prize money, and without Wolf, they have nothing. You can see that in the events. Wolf is in the finals or the top 4. They do videos about him. That's where they get all of their viewership because no one cares about competitive Pokemon otherwise. So Wolf Click in the finals, 500,000 views. Anyone else in the finals, less than 20,000 views. For a finals event of the largest franchise in the world that has sold 26 million copies of the game. Now, this isn't something that happened recently because, oh, Wolf became the most popular content creator, that's why they're promoting him. No, this goes back over a decade before really anyone knew about or played Pokemon VGC. He's been friends with people in the Pokémon Company that allowed him to cheat instead of banning him, and then more of his friends that he's played with have gotten hired by Pokemon, and now he...
Citation, please. Like, all of this could be 100% true. You guys show the citation. Who's the friend? Who's the friend that works in the Pokemon Company? Who was the friend that helped? Where's the proof that he cheated? Pokemon Company knew he cheated, and the Pokemon Company say, hey, I would ban someone else for this, but not him. This all needs to be cited, man. It all has to be cited.
He's just getting all the features. He's getting all the promotion, and he's allowed to cheat. Now, the largest Pokemon content creator being a liar and cheater is a big claim, but there's over a decade of receipts about this, that the person that made the hacking programs has a stipulation. You cannot use my program in official events. Well, he got upset now that everyone in VGC is cheating, because it's not just Wolf. It's every single top player is hacking their Pokemon to disadvantage others, which is against the rules. So, flashbang warning, here's the rules. Use of external devices such as an app.
Okay, again, disadvantage others. You need to explain now why it's a disadvantage. Today's modern era, especially, again, if you're not using a Trick Room team, perfect IVs are almost across the board fine. If you're using a special attacker, you might not want the attack IVs to be perfect because then foul play hurts you a little bit more. Obviously, you got situations like that. But then you take that situation and you go, okay, so my Calyrex Shadow, I might want him to run the lowest attack IVs. You have to explain this. Legendary Pokemons are the only one where this would even matter. Like, Galarian Moltres, who cares? It's a special attacker that isn't subject to foul play. All of its stats are going to be... You're probably running perfect IVs on everything but the attack stat anyways, and probably some people run on the attack stat for Sucker Punch anyways. I mean, it doesn't matter in that situation. And now you also got to prove, hey, everyone's hacking with this. Show me those hacked Pokemon. Show me. How do you know? I know some situations where people were switching their Pokemon up mid-tournament, whatnot. Like, and when they're exposed, I know people who've been banned for it. I remember forever ago, Pokemon banned a lot of people in a single tournament.
To modify or create items or Pokemon in a competitor's battle team is expressly forbidden. Competitors found to have Pokemon or items that have been tampered with may receive disqualification, regardless of whether the Pokemon or items belong to that competitor or were traded for.
You see how he also skipped this? This is... I hate that I've done political debates now. I hate it, because I see this in everyone now. Every person's toxic. Everyone... I'm Neo. I see the Matrix. Everyone's toxic. Like, I know I'm toxic, but may receive a disqualification. That means it's the Pokemon discretion. Like, they can determine... They want this rule so that people can't cheat and get an advantage upon their opponent. They won't... I could see, like I said, in situations, a Trick Room team or a special attacker with a low attack IV, I could see that situation. But they purposely say may receive a disqualification so that it's the Pokemon Company's discretion. So now your job is to show Wolf did something, this person did something. Wolf is a big content creator and has friends in the company. You gotta show who those friends are. This guy's a nobody. This guy got banned. Wolf did not. That's all you need to do. Just show that now.
So you can't go, oh, I got traded this thing. I got it off the GTS. I didn't know my perfect 6 IV Pokemon that I got for free was hacked. No. Any hacked Pokemon, ginning is hacking. Don't let them use the soft, sugary words to change the fact. Every gen Pokemon is illegal. There is no such thing as a legally hacked Pokemon as dictated by the rules. All manipulation is against the rules. Hacking in rare candies to level them up or hacking in bottle caps to train them, that is also against the rules. Now it's harder to track.
So what he just said there about the bottle caps and whatnot being hacked in is being illegal may result in a disqualification. This gives the Pokemon Company discretion. So you need to prove at this point that someone hacked in bottle caps and got banned, and Wolf did the same and did not. Otherwise, that may receive a disqualification. What you need to prove is that Pokemon... You can't just say, here's the Pokemon rules, and they don't follow it, because the word may is in there. Like, you got to show that they show actual favoritism. We're going to go 20 minutes into this video. That's what we need to determine.
That's also what these players do. They just hack in all the items on like a separate save file or console, and then they just power up their Pokemon that way, still cheating.
Citation.
Also, we can see the corruption of the Pokemon Company because back in 2012, even up until, I believe, 2016, it said you will receive a disqualification for having any tampered Pokemon, but they never enforced the rules because, oh, it turns out you lose all of your top players and you lose your golden boy Wolf Glick because he's cheating. It's still in the rules, and the crazy thing is we saw...
So citation, again, now you need to show that they changed the rules for Wolf Glick. Because, like you said already, if everyone's cheating already, they adjusted the rules accordingly. Alright, well, if they're going to cheat already, we're going to put the word may in there and we'll hit the people who are cheating severely. Like, that makes sense. That makes sense in every game ever. Like, alright? You gotta... That's gonna be this whole video. Citation, please. And especially if you want Penguin Zero to watch this, you gave him nothing. You're just telling him stuff. Show citation. Like, you have to see these exposed videos, like these manifestos and whatnot, where people have citations upon citation upon citation upon citation. You can't just say, well, they were cheating, then they changed the rules, and they must have done it for this guy. Like, and then also you have to describe why it's a bad thing. Yeah, everyone was cheating, so they fixed the rules so that less people were cheating. Like,
all this with Pokemon Worlds 2023, that almost every top player got disqualified because it happened in Japan. And Japan, they take cheating very seriously, or hacking very seriously in their video games. So that exposed the corruption right there, but it wasn't as big of a story as it should have been. And you know what Wolf did? He defended the people that got disqualified for cheating. So that's how cheating works in Pokemon. And if you disagree, like, oh, I think ginning should be legal, well, you're wrong, because those are the rules that are being opted into. You don't like...
Well, the rules say may, and so you actually disagree with the rules. You think the rules should go back to what they were. So you're the one disagreeing with the rules right now, because Pokemon Company may disqualify people. They did at one tournament. So that should tell people you should be a little wary. Like, don't bring Hackmons. But if you do, you may not get expelled. You still gotta show the favoritism, though. Was Wolf in that Japanese tournament, and did he have a Hackmon and he get away with it and other people didn't? That's what's important. That's the story. But you need to prove that. That's a necessary thing to, like, indicate to us. And also, he just said, and Wolf defended the people. Citation, please. If you want this to go to people outside the Pokemon community, citation is needed. Just tell us what you want us to know. Show.
Like the rules, don't play. End of story. It doesn't matter how expensive Pokemon is or how much time it takes, these are the rules that players are voluntarily opting into. Breaking those rules and then lying about it to steal tens of thousands of dollars in prize money is wrong and indefensible. And in Wolf's scale, it's actually evil. He has built an entire career of depriving the opportunities of others and then lying about it and then continuing to cheat with the support of the Pokemon Company. So what happened with Wolf's team? Well, this is the team that the Pokemon Company posted after he won an online event. Pokemon Company said, yo, use WolfGlick's team. He won this event. Check it out. And then Kurt and other data miners got a hold of it. Oh, it has completely hacked Pokemon. Pokemon that cannot exist without the use of hacking tools. And then Kurt has also just kind of shown how much of an epidemic this is. We have 2 more rental teams from Players Cup 2. So second place. So first and second place, cheaters. Fourth place, because they posted their team, cheaters. And then there was another Players Cup where everyone in the top 16 that shared their team was confirmed to have been cheating, including the winner of Pokemon Players Cup 4. And then there's the receipts for the hacked Pokemon that the players used. Also, regionals. You get first place out of regionals. That's just going to cheaters these days. We have just the breakdown. So first place from Vancouver Regionals, that's a cheater. The first event in Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, both finalists had hacked Pokemon. Same thing happened with Liverpool, both finalists had hacked Pokemon. But Wolf just
So he needs, again, you can't just say, this person says these are Hackmons. Go into why. How did we determine these are Hackmons? Was the location weird? Were they traded from one place to another? You need to go into detail here. You need to tell us why these are hacked mons. And then everything you say won't matter because they say May in the rule description now. So you have to go back to when you can't argue anything after that rule change. Like, sadly, you just can't. You can disagree with it, but then it's you disagreeing with the rules of the Pokemon Company. Pokemon Company says they may cause issues. They may disqualify. So anything after the word may, you're done. It doesn't matter. So you, not only, this is why it's such a piss poor argument. Tell us why it is, show me a Pokemon on a competitive team and go, this is illegal because this. And then go, and according to the Pokemon rules, this should get you disqualified because of this, and this. Instead, he shows the rules, which say may disqualify you, which means they don't need to. And then he just shows Pokemon go, this one was cheated. Go read my friend's Twitter. Like, I don't know what am I supposed to gain from that? What is Penguin Zero supposed to gain from that?
Accidentally got a hacked Pokemon from other people. So, he's not a cheater, except it happened again. 25th Anniversary Invitational. Wolf has his team posted by the Pokemon Company. It gets data mined, multiple hacked Pokemon. He is a habitual, career-long cheater. Now, what's even more sus is after getting busted with all these hacked Pokemon, Wolf made a video about what happens if you buy Pokemon on eBay. Spoiler, they're all hacked. You don't need a video to explain this. It's always been true, and there is no doubt or question whatsoever. And as a former world champion and someone that's supposed to be legit, you shouldn't be touching or playing around with hacked Pokemon ever in any circumstance. But what happened is this video fully exposed Wolf because now he commissions hackers and data miners to check his Pokemon to make sure he isn't going to get busted again. Why does a Pokemon champion and active competitor have a hacker in their pocket to check Pokemon for them if they're legit? Why is
Pokemon? That's weird. Why are you upset about someone purposely trying to follow the rules? He literally hires someone to make sure his Pokemon are not hacked in a way that matters. Or even, like I said, it's the rules say may, so at the end of the day, it doesn't matter anyways. But this is... This is like an athlete getting criticized for hiring like a drug specialist to make sure everything they're taking is of legal substance. Like, and this one going, well, why would you ever need that? If you just didn't do drugs, you would never need that. Well, yeah. But if I'm taking like vitamins or something to help me in my training, and some of those are not allowed and some are, I rather there be a drug like analyst that could tell me this. Like,
making
what weird
a
argument.
fake video trying to be like, but here's how you can stay away from hacked Pokemon, when he then has to use hacking to explain that. And it was also something that didn't need to be explained because, of course, every Pokemon being sold on eBay is hacked. There's also bot programs that automatically give away hacked Pokemon to, I don't even know how many tens of millions have been given away at this point. You join a Discord, you put in a request, you get a hacked Pokemon. So even paying money on eBay for hacked Pokemon is stupid. So that's the problem with just jumping into the Pokemon community. On the VGC side, the official side, everyone is a cheater, and of course they're forced to lie about it or else they face punishment from the Pokémon Company. But if you don't know about that, or how bad and how it is actually everyone's cheating, including Wolfglick, why isn't he punished? Oh, the Pokemon Company you know and love is actually corrupt. It's a lot to swallow, but it's just the facts. They don't punish their golden boy that they allow to cheat, and because he's gotten so much popularity.
So who do they punish? This is the important part. Who do they punish? Show me the person that was punished doing the same thing that Wolf did. Because even if your argument is Japan cares more about cheating, so Wolf didn't do the Japan tournament, okay, that makes sense. Every tournament that Wolf is in, they play by the same rules. If you cheat, you have a chance of getting disqualified, but you don't, it's not guaranteed. Like, so you gotta show that. Show me where Wolf cheated, won a tournament, or was participating in a tournament that someone else cheated the exact same way and got disqualified for it. That's what matters in this topic. I don't get the argument here. And this is the issue. He has 400 videos on, that's exaggerating obviously, on Wolf here. I bet you every single video is the same thing of he cheated in 2016. I proved it, and the Pokemon Company didn't care, and they actually changed their rules. Okay? And they changed their rules to what more of the Pokemon community. All these competitive players, if they're cheating anyways, why would you ban everyone who's playing your game? Like, this is how they want to play the game. As much as I hate it, because I used to argue against this too, yes, you should follow the rules. They changed the rules so that people wouldn't leave the community.
By being supported by one of the largest franchises in the world, also just how the YouTube algorithm works, yeah, he gets away with lying. Cool. So now because of that, whenever Pokemon gets attention, it's always like, oh, you gotta work with Wolf, you gotta work with Wolf, he's the Pokemon champion, he's the GOAT, he's got the world champion difference. No, he's just a cheater. And I think that instead of collabing with him, Charlie needs to make a video fully exposing, being like, oh, Pokemon's got a cheating problem, the Wolfglick situation's crazy. Now I also have strong opinions about...
So, just so you know, Penguin's Zero video on this would literally be, oh, the Pokemon changes their rules so that people can cheat, and people still cheat. Okay, cool. That's the entire video. What else would he say? The Pokemon Company said that they may disqualify people for certain cheating. And they don't do it. And when they do it, they do it across the board. In a Japanese tournament, they banned everyone who did it. In every other tournament, they haven't banned a single person. This is sour grapes. This is Wolf got mad that a lot of the attention on him went downhill because he did call out Wolf for a cheated Pokemon. That was probably cheated, but he hitched his wagon to that argument, and that was going to be his character. Wolf was going to be the person who... Sorry. Verlisify was going to be the person who took down Wolf. And when Wolf didn't get taken down, and instead the Pokemon Company went, oh, here's a toxic individual, and here's Wolf, we're going to side more with Wolf and probably give the community what they wanted, because more of the community, like he said, all the players are cheating. That means that the community wants that to be the case. No one watches a Pokemon tournament and goes, oh, that's a cheating mod, I'm done watching, click. Like, they just want to see the top players top play. And saying that, oh, Wolf's a fraud because he cheats makes it sound like what he's trying to get you to think is that he's cheating in battle. He wouldn't win these battles without cheating. No, everyone has the same access to these Pokemon still. And like he said, if the opponent is cheating, who gives a crap? There's two cheaters going against each other and Wolf is still winning. At the end of the day, the Pokemon are viable in-game Pokemon, and Wolf wins the most tournaments in that one-on-one situation. Wolf is the best competitive Pokemon player in the world right now. maybe of all time, Rizzo is the only one who even might have that capability of saying that he's better. But those are the top 2 dogs right there. And if you're going to say, like, well, everyone else is cheating around them and whatnot, okay, change the rules. Make it so that you're going to have the same 2 people on top still. Because at the end of the day, what are they going to do? At the end of the day, Wolf will just hire someone like me to go into game and make a competitive Pokemon viable. He'll play on Showdown, go, these are the numbers I need. Can you get them by the end of the night? And I would go in and make sure he has that Pokemon ready to go. You're just costing him more money to do so. Which, I mean, arguably he should do that anyways because he's already hiring people to check to make sure if Pokemon are cheated. But again, though, he's only doing that for people like Wolf, who still hate him for it. So who cares? No one cares.
About Smogon, but Wolf needs to be exposed first. The problem with Smogon is that it's just a rule set made by bad players to ban everything that beats them, so working with Blunder or Pokeaim isn't going to be productive for competitive Pokemon at all.
No.
And you can see a lot of comments about the agency, that's Blunder, or just...
Oh no, oh my god. Wolf lives in 2016. Oh my god, he's arguing the same stuff he used to argue when I was a fan of his. He hasn't grown at all. He hasn't changed his opinion at all. He is steadfast in his ways. That's crazy. He was complaining back then about Smogon because they banned stuff like minimization on... I think at one time, Wolf got mad because he used the Snorlax with Curse and Minimize and got into a situation where he's like, well, yeah, I'm just going to timer stall everyone. No one can beat this team. Like, Smogon goes, yeah, we're going to ban all of these strategies that just make the game unfun, which, mind you, oh my god, if you ever play the Violet and Scarlet in-game ladder, and you win against a Muck minimized team with Smeargle and then Co-Star Flamingo, and even now they're using like Calyrex Shadow with Psych-Up, dude, it's not fun. You're playing against an opponent where you're just hoping your moves hit. It's not strategy. It's not fun at all. So Smogon's like, we want people to have fun here, so here's rules. And Wolf even back then was like, well, I don't understand. You just don't like strategy? You don't like these type of strategies? They're trying to take out the unfun strategies. Now, the issue is, Wolf has the same problem that I think a lot of people do. He can't see stuff. I keep saying Wolf, god damn it. It's because I'm looking at a fucking wolf when talking about Verlisify. God damn it. Verlisify has the issue that he can't see stuff from other people's perspective. He looks at it from his perspective of, I want to play by just the rules, I want to use cheesy strats, I want to do this. And he doesn't care about the community as a whole. He looks at it as, I don't want to go up against cheaters. And he's mad that a tournament so many people watches, and he thinks, well, if only they knew. If they knew that he was cheating, they would turn on him. Those millions of views, those millions of subscribers, they would unsubscribe right away. If only they knew. But that's not the case. He doesn't see it from other people's perspective. They don't care about the topic. And Verlisify is at that point of, he dug in. He has to have these opinions. And everyone disagrees with him, and in his mind, he's still standing there going, well, I'm right. He's the 1 out of 100 going, well, I'm right on this topic. And sadly, he might even be right. But it doesn't matter. If this community wants something different, you will not direct the game to your own senses. I've said this with the hand-holding aspect of Pokemon. I want my Pokemon game to be like Red and Blue again, where here's a Pokemon, go. And I would love that. If the new Pokemon games came out and it was like that, it'd be great. But there's a reason they don't do that, and it's probably because younger players and newer players need to be handheld a little bit. And at the end of the day, I'm not the casual fan. I know my Pokemon types. I know IVs. I know competitive. But when I watch my friends play through Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl, I watch them go, I have no idea how to beat Cynthia. It's like, she has items and stuff. I'm like, yeah, you gotta make a better team. You can't go in there with 6 Bidoofs. Oh, but I was doing Pokemon Challenge. This was fun. I'm not gonna play then. It's like, okay. So now I sit here, I go, I want a Pokemon game harder. I've watched friends give up on hard Pokemon games. I can't sit here and now demand Pokemon games feed my ego or go become what I want them to be. The community matters more than the individual in this instance.
Poke aim straight up. Also, there's a good chance that Smogon might be a trap, and if you learn that, you're just going to be worse for Pokemon Champions, because a competitive game is coming out, and while singles isn't, like, heavily officially supported, every once in a while you see, like, a one-off in-game tournament that's singles or something. There's a chance that maybe, like, Pokemon Champions actually officially supports a competitive circuit for singles. That's going to be Pokemon's rule set, and not Smogon's babied rule set. So, even then, like, this is the wrong way of going about it. But the problem is, like, all of competitive Pokemon is toxic, twisted, and corrupt. We need to deal with Wolfglick first, and then we can sort all that out. And maybe it'll just be really awesome if general gaming gets into Pokemon Champions or competitive Pokemon because of this. But Wolf absolutely needs to be exposed for his cheating. And I said there's over like a decade of cheating, an entire career. So I'm just going to put in my video here that has, like, the full receipts. Oh yeah, there's also this clip that came out recently, which is all true because Wolf defended his friend who, in a twit longer, admitted, "I am an abuser. I am sick. Well, I'm sorry for what I'm done. I will never change."
Once again, this is the political style argument. You're a cheater. You're horrible at this game, whatnot. I'm going to bring in something personal in your life to discredit you. You defended this abuser. That has nothing to do with this topic. All Verlisify is trying to do here is go, Wolf should not be the face of Pokemon. Someone more deserving should. And Verlisify is falling off. He's not where he was. There was a chance that Verlisify could have been one of the faces of Pokemon. It's crazy to think about that, but he was huge back in the day. Look at him. Look at J-Wits. There's people in the past that were huge Pokemon content creators that you don't hear of much anymore. Like, right now, I associate Chuck Conroy more with the Pokemon community, and he's more of a Nintendo fanboy than he is just a PokeTuber. But M&JTV is better for a PokeTuber. You got, well, like I said, Wolfglick is a perfect example as a good high-level Pokemon player. Like, why would someone like Verlisify be up there? So Verlisify feels the need to discredit. These people are mean. They're bad in life. They are bad people. They're cheaters. Why do they get the views? Why do they get the YouTube algorithm? Why do they get the backing of Pokemon? It's sour grapes. It really is. And like I said, I used to be a fan of him. And it's so hard to go. It's like watching someone, like, you see this sometimes where you watch like a video back in like 2016, 2012 is a good example for me. And I'm like, man, I haven't watched Achievement Hunter in a long time. I'm going to go back and see if they hold up. And then you watch them and you're like, why is it just a bunch of people screaming? And I was like, as a kid, I loved it. But now, as you grow, your content almost has to grow alongside your audience. Verlisify has not done this. This is the same video I would have watched from him in 2016. Nothing has changed at all. He has not listened to an ounce of criticism from the community and adjusted his opinion at all. The argument style is exactly the same. The vitriol that he goes after people is exactly the same.
How does it feel to have been going up against Neuven and Sylveon with Boomburst copycat strategies?
So Jake Major, who is Wolf's friend, he got outed as abuser, and Wolf said, "I'm really proud of you," to an abuser, and then he lied about this person called Case to deflect attention away from this guy, and ran Case out of the community to protect his abusive friend. And Wolf's scumbag, that's all I wanted to say. Thanks, bye.
Okay, so I guess we'll be heading to the next round very shortly. So we'll see how...
What is this supposed to prove? Even if all this is true, you're just showing me a guy telling me something. Citation, please. I can't believe I keep saying this. Oh my god, I'm going back to my days of watching Armor Skeptic. Citation, please. What? Some guy just said Wolf defended another guy for being an abuser. Well, first off, even if the guy is an abuser, I doubt Wolf said good job abusing. I'm pretty sure he probably said good job playing Pokemon. Alright. Like, first off, those could not be correlated in any way. Second off, I have no idea if the guy's an abuser. Citation. Please, give me some substance. You want Penguin Zero to watch this. There's nothing here. It's just a bunch of guys saying stuff. There's no evidence. There's no citation. There's no... What am I supposed to do with this information?
How the rest of the match goes. So, for now, we're going to touch to a very short break, and we'll be right back.
And look at the own chat reply. Everyone's like, what the... Huh? Like, no one cares. No one cares. No one knows what you're talking about. You're alone. You're the old man that yells at clouds. No one cares.
Let's hear it for Wolfey!
Oh, and they
This
advertise
really put it
Wolfey
into
after. That's
perspective.
awesome.
Pokemon VGC World Championship 2012. And there's Wolf Glick. Cheating. Now, these were the early days of competitive Pokemon, so one-off hack team of shiny legendaries, sure, why not? But then you just kind of follow Wolf Glick throughout the years, and...
Alright, so again, they changed the rules at this point. You are literally going over a decade back. You're obsessed. This is creepy. This is not cool. I don't get it. You're going back and saying, oh, he might have cheated back then. He's the face of the company. How's that fair? Yada, yada. It doesn't, no one cares. Even if you're 100% right on this, no one's going to change their opinion on Wolf. I don't get your point here.
Sure, why not? But then you just kind of follow Wolf Glick throughout the years, and it's non-stop, constant, provable, hacked Pokemon. There is nothing Wolf can say to defend these Pokemon he has used, except an admission of cheating. That is how confirmed hacked these Pokemon are. And just so we're all clear, I want to show everyone how it is this way. So if you end up enjoying the video, you gotta leave a like. If you care about legitimacy at all, integrity, if you're against lying, if you're against cheating, any of that, you need to leave a like on the video.
Again, the political statements. Wolf might... I hate that Verlisify's symbol is a dog wolf looking thing. It makes it so complicated, let me tell you. But, again, this is the political tactic. Do you think cheating's okay? If you don't think cheating's okay, you have to be on my side. Ignore everything else. I call this guy a cheater. So if you defend him, you're defending cheating. That's it. That's all. That's the entire argument. And it's no different than the political argument of, wait, you're against? All right, what's the good one? Oh, it's the Freedom Tunes. I want good thing. How you pay for good thing? He want bad thing. He want bad thing. It's legitimately that meme. Like. Do you like a bad thing? Do you like cheating? Well, if you don't like cheating, you must agree with me. Well, first off, even if you... The hardest part about this is it doesn't matter to such an extreme level. Because even if he's right, no one gives a shit. Like, that's the issue here. You could be 100% validated in every way. Wolf could come out and go, yeah, I've used cheated mons in the past. My bad. And he won't lose a single subscriber over it. That's the weird part. And it's not like I said, I keep bringing this back to the political field. I've seen political YouTubers that completely went against their morality in every way, and their audience defended them. Like, and you think someone's gonna disavow a Pokemon player for something that 95% of the Pokemon community don't care about? Like, you're going to expose them, and then it's like, no one cares. It's not a big deal. No one cares.
You need to share with your friends, and you need to comment your thoughts down below, because Wolf Glick has manipulated his audience to a point that I can only call evil. It's a decade of habitual cheating in a children's game, and then lying and defaming other people for years to keep on getting away with it. Stealing tens of thousands of dollars to over $100,000 in prize money from people following the rules?
Well, no, from others following the rules, you just said everyone's cheating. Wait a minute, everyone's cheating in competitive. Who's following the rules? Who's going to these tournament citation? Show me the person playing legitly that is getting screwed over by Wolf. Citation? This is going to be like 2 hours of me yelling citation.
There's nothing else you can call that but evil. So let's go and break it down, starting with the obvious all the way back in 2012. We have shiny, legendary, perfect IV Pokemon. in Generation 5. There was no hyper training, there was no way of modifying the IVs, and while doing research for this video, I actually learned something. Roaming Pokemon don't even get the synchronized 50% chance. And in Generation 5, Thundurus was a roaming Pokemon, so numbers are about to get silly. We got 32 to the power of 6. Then multiply by 25, because that's going to be the nature roll, and then 8,192 for the shiny, bringing us to a big number. I wanted to double check just to be absolutely sure, because it's 1 in 219 trillion. Alright, but people are still out there thinking Wolf.
Whoa. So, also, are we considering that maybe it wasn't a perfect IV Pokemon? I mean, it wouldn't need whatever attack stat it doesn't use would not need to be important. And like you said, if they're not all going to be perfect Pokemon here, why would you need one perfect? I might get a shiny one with a good nature and go, oh, cool. Or adjust the team around that nature. I get a Tornadus with a timid nature. Okay, now I have a fast Tornadus, a jolly nature. Now I have a fast Tornadus in the other in the other attacking category. I mean, again, is it unlikely? Absolutely. They're probably cheated. But at the same time, you already made the assumption these are perfect Pokemon without showing us it. Maybe they are. I mean, he didn't show me that they're perfect, so I don't know how to tell. But they're perfect, they're shiny, which shiny alone is abnormal. But maybe he's brought a team of Pokemon that were not perfect IVs. Who knows? You have to provide this information. You need to show me that was a perfect Pokemon before you start throwing numbers at me.
Never cheated. Don't know why people choose to be idiots and lie to themselves like that, but alright. And that doesn't even factor in the Terrakion. So Terrakion's going to be the same thing, 32 to the power of 6. But I believe that you can actually get the 50% chance for the nature. So times 2. And then we're also going to have the shiny odds of it. And okay, cool. We got 17 trillion. Well, that's just 2 of Wolf's 6 Pokemon, so what other Pokemon did he use? Really? And people defend this scumbag? And he had even more shiny competitive Pokemon before the Destiny Knot passed down 5 IVs. Sure. This is why VGC is dying and no one wants to play competitive Pokemon. They saw this a decade ago, went, oh.
Yes. Alright. Well, that's weird. Oh, hey. Oh, yeah. Ooh. Oh, yeah, man, that's weird. Huh. That's weird. I wonder why he said it's dying. That's odd. He said it so confidently, too, that people must have seen this 10 years ago and just said, no, I'm out. Like, people saw this and went, oh my god, Wolf has shiny legendary Pokemon and winning tournaments? I can't play that.
It's just shiny legendary team versus shiny legendary team, or everyone choosing hacked Pokemon, because it's obvious, and then they never saw it get any better, so there's no reason.
And remember, as a kid, I do agree with this shiny legendary of, like, to me, shiny Pokemon were ruined by the fact that everyone can get them now. They're super easy to get. It used to be something special. So like I said, Wolf absolutely probably cheated these teams. I'm going to say absolutely probably, which I know is a double negative. But probably cheated these teams. Who cares? Now you have to prove, okay, well, they changed the rules. Do you want them to go back and post-ban them? I mean, the real question is, Wolf Glick was not a big deal in 2012. Why did they not have a system to catch the hack mobs back then? Probably they didn't care. Everyone was hacking mons, if that's the answer. And that's the same issue that Wolf is saying here, too. Well, if people who want to play legitimately can't, I understand. I keep saying Wolf. Same thing Verlisify is saying here. If people want to play legitimately, they were at a disadvantage, then they didn't have to play legitimately. Just purposely hack them on, go in there and go, well, wait a minute, Wolf hacks his, why can't I? Like, and at the end of the day, this is a decade ago. No one cared. You were the only one who cared back then.
Reason to invest into it. And we also have to acknowledge the opponent, Ray Rizzo. Ray Rizzo is such a cheater that it should be impossible for him to come back from it. Dream Ball Age of Slash in the 6th generation. But not only that, he used more hatch Pokemon that are impossible to obtain because he just hacked his team. The image above is from his Nationals match against Logan Castro Game 2, so if we go and check that out, okay, because privating evidence is what innocent people do. Either way, the Dream Ball Aegislash alone makes it impossible to say that Ray Rizzo is a legitimate player, but his entire team was hacked, and we have the breakdown here. Ludicolo cannot be caught in such a Pokeball, which is the Lure Ball. Upon further thought, Politoed is also illegal. It has the hidden ability Drizzle. Drizzle can only be passed down from mothers or fathers with a Ditto. Aper Balls can only be passed down by females and only used in Generation 4, before hidden abilities were released. So Ray Rizzo's 2014...
And this is back when I was a fan of Verlisify. I agree they were hacked. Pokemon Company does not care. The Pokemon community does not care. What do you want to be done? They changed the rules. They understood that it was a problem, so they changed the rules. This is a decade ago, man. This was 8 years. Sorry, 8 years ago. For the past however many years, no one cares. Like, it doesn't matter. You're gonna point these out to people. You could tell people, oh my god, they're cheaters. They don't care. Why do you care? Like, at the time, even these, he cares because the Pokemon were illegitimate because they weren't in the right Pokeballs. It changes nothing on the gameplay. And he's trying to discredit the best 2 players in the world. Like there would be other players in the world better. The battling is the same mechanic. You could see it when Wolf does stuff on even Showdown. He's still one of the best.
Nationals team was cheated to the bone, and there's also chat logs of him admitting to using Pokecheck back in the day, which is a hacking program. So, obviously, he should get punished, right? Nope, he got hired by the Pokemon Company as a caster, and then is like a special final boss guest for the Players' Cup Invitational. And then you wonder, it's like, well, all of these guys were friends back in the day. Cybertron, who works for the Pokemon Company, Wolf Glick and Ray Rizzo, who are hacking it off against each other in 2012, and then everyone just gets special treatment and gets away with cheating. Cool. But back to Wolfey, because even though it's been almost 6 years of his Dream Ball Raichu, people still struggle with the fact that it's hacked. So I guess
They struggle to care. That's the difference. Like, I would not be the person that comes on here and say that they didn't hack Mons. They probably did. No one cares, Verlisify. You are the man yelling at clouds. No one cares. It's only your community. And the problem is, even if you're right, even if it's immoral, even if they're scumbags for doing it, you will not change the world right now. Wolf made this community. Wolfey is VGC Pokemon right now. You are not. You are irrelevant to the conversation. So, if you disagree, it's your job to leave the community. The community went one way and you disagree with it. You make your small little niche community, which it seems like you did. But you can't keep attacking the major community. No one cares that he hacked Mons. Back then, even I did. But I don't care now. Because what I wanted to see was competitive Pokemon grow. And I was wrong back then. I thought if people follow the rules, it would be a healthier community. That's not true. No one would... If today's competitive scene was like it was back then, no one would play it. No one could. You had to be a mathematician to even do the basics of competitive Pokemon back then. Nowadays, you literally can look up a guide and make a team in 10-15 minutes. It's not hard anymore. But we only got there because of how much people had to cheat back then to even make a team. It wasn't what Pokemon was supposed to be back then, but as soon as one person could make a perfect team, they would run tournaments.
Need to keep on clarifying this, because every time Wolf says he does not cheat Pokemon, he is lying. And let's go and prove that. So here's his Raichu coming out of a Dream Ball. That's going to be important later. And then later we get to see the moveset of this Raichu. By the way, this video is on Wolfey's channel, so there is factual, hard, indisputable evidence of Wolfey using cheated Pokemon on his channel right now. So he's also deleted videos in the past I've shown of him using hacked Pokemon, so we're going to see how long this one stays up. But
Wolfey also fully would just say, I got it from a friend, and if it's hacked, my bad. I fully believe that that's his mindset here. And it probably was a cheated mon that he probably got from someone who, I liked it in that Pokeball, so I put it in that Pokeball, and yeah, they found out later on that it couldn't possibly be in that Pokeball. Who cares?
So Encore. Encore, back in 2016, Generation 6, was an egg move on the Raichu. Well, that's where things get a little complicated, because the only way of having a Dream Ball Pikachu is going to be from a Generation 5 Global Link event. The problem is, the event was gender locked, so you could only have a male Dream Ball Pikachu. That's it. That was the only way of getting a Dream Ball. Well, this is where the egg move comes in on the Encore, because male and gender unknown Pokemon, including Ditto, have no impact on the type of ball inherited. So I've seen idiots for the last 6 years saying, well, he just gets the Dream Ball Pikachu, he breeds it with a Ditto, or he breeds it with a female Pikachu, then you get the Encore, and then the ball is going to pass down. No, Dream Ball will never pass from a male Pikachu into an offspring in Generation 6, because that's how the game is hard-coded. So this Pokemon cannot exist without hacking, and there's Wolf's face using it. Okay, 1 time is happenstance, 2 times is coincidence, but 3 is a pattern of cheating. And Wolf had been so emboldened by cheating and getting away with it for his 2016 World Championship and his long history of using hacked Pokemon that it doesn't get more blatant than what happened with this Raichu, and people still deny the cheating. Fine, you can make the just wrong argument that you believe if a Pokemon is hacked but has obtainable stats, it should be used in competitive. Them's ain't the rules. So,
Well, the rules now say may, so it is the rules now, sadly for you. But you don't care, because you don't care about the rules. Again, unless you want to post-hoc ban people who cheated back then, which is crazy, but this is the guy, like I said, I feel for Verlisify. Because Verlisify is in that position of, I'm right, why can't everyone just agree with me? I'm right. You see this, again, I'm going to bring it back to politics. You see this in the political field. I have the best argument for this political topic. Why won't people agree with me on it? And it's like, because they don't care. They either don't care or they have their own opinions that are going to be so subjective to what you believe that it just don't matter. So he is that person. Yes, they cheated. Yes, you were right. They did cheat. I agreed with you back then. But it's time to move on. You're not winning this fight. And you just calling them cheaters the rest of their life. And even that, they're gonna turn off videos. I bet this video doesn't stay up. You're a fly on their wrist. They swat you away. They don't care. Your community is so small now that it doesn't even matter. That there's a bigger community of people now who will hate watch Verlisify than there are that watch him as a content creator. It was a scary thing when I made a video criticizing him, and I got 60,000 views immediately. As a dead channel that did nothing. 600 subscribers. All just off of Verlisify hate. And even back then, I was like, man, I could sucker into this, but I didn't hate Verlisify. I didn't want to make 14 videos criticizing him. I could have, but I didn't, because I wasn't obsessed with him. I wasn't obsessed with the idea of, I need to take Verlisify down. I still am not. This is a person, like, literally, I have the issue right now that I look back at YouTubers I used to watch as a teenager and as a kid, and I'm ashamed. So many of them are creeps. So many of them have issues. And Verlisify just needs help. He needs out of this. He needs a mental shift. He is complaining about the same stuff he was back then. And still is just online crying, I'm right and things will change eventually. And the company changed its rules so that the people who were cheating would no longer be considered cheating by just adding one word. They added may. They may be disqualified for it. Good. They're not. They're not getting disqualified for it. So again, you need to show me someone who did get banned for it doing the same thing that WolfClick does. That's all you need to do. You show that in a honestly, that's a big situation. Tournament happens, Wolf wins it, and someone else got banned doing the same thing he did. That's a story. That's one where I almost would have to go, okay, I gotta make a video criticizing Wolf on this. But that's not what you're showing. You're showing me years ago that someone cheated, telling me that everyone cheated back then, and then going, well, they changed the rules, so I guess they're not cheating. I don't even know what I'm supposed to criticize here.
Wolfclick broke the rules. That is fact. He then lied about breaking the rules and has habitually lied since then. And again, when we get to the pattern of using hacked Pokemon, you can't claim ignorance anymore, especially when you've been caught multiple times. You can't be like, oh, Verlisify lied, oh, Verlisify lied, oh, Verlisify lied, and then get caught every time and then go, well, how am I supposed to know? You know, I didn't get the Pokemon myself. It doesn't matter. It's even in the rules that even if the Pokemon are traded to you, you are now responsible for those Pokemon if they are hacked. You can't claim ignorance when it keeps on happening. So yeah, we got the right.
I really wish he did show that. If he shows where the Pokemon Company didn't use the word may, but was like, if you brought something that we can determine is not legitimate, you would be disqualified. If he provided that, it would change my opinion, but it would change my opinion from about 5 years ago where I already agreed with the topic. So it's such a hard thing to even argue because it's like, yeah, at the time I would disagree, but they didn't care. If the company doesn't care, why do I care? Like, right now you see it in every sport ever, where certain teams get away with stuff that other teams don't. Is it bullshit? Yes, but they do it. Pokemon Company is no different here.
Raichu, this was an event-only Raichu, which means you had to naturally roll the IVs. Now, after doing my recent video about how every non-Japanese Pokemon World Champion is a confirmed cheater, it has been brought to my attention that Wolf's Raichu that he used in 2016 had 2 guaranteed IVs. Now, it does change the numbers a bit, and that's why I wanted to clear up, but it does not change the numbers enough to change the fact that Wolfclick used a hacked Raichu at 2016 Worlds, and then had a copy of this statistically improbable Pokemon, while also his friend Marcus having another copy of the same Pokemon with the same team, who then threw the semifinals match to Wolf to put him into the finals. It's all
Citation?
dirty, because Wolf
Citation?
is a very dirty person. So let's see.
Citation? How do... Oh my god, I hate it. How can people make claims? They just make big claims with no evidence. I'm 1 video in. Oh no. How do people make claims without evidence? How is it? This is your job. All you do is criticize Wolf. You've criticized him for like 40 videos. How do you not have these things just ready to go? He threw the match. Cool. Show. I don't get it. I don't get it. Or at this point, my man, make a manifesto. Do a huge document. Make a huge video. Make a 2-hour-long video. Step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4, step 5. That'd be entertaining, actually. Here's all the times he cheated. And then at the end, people can tell you, cool, we don't care. but at least that'd be a good video to watch. I would react to it. Like, here's a document of every time he cheated. Here's where he said that he didn't cheat, but we already know he cheated from this. And even if he used a hack man, this is the old rules. The old rules said that you would get banned. It would be such a good video. It'd be such a good document. Oh my god, you should do that. Instead, you just come on here and you just say random stuff. And then he supported someone beating his girlfriend. Here's a guy saying that on a Pokemon live stream. Okay.
See how those numbers look. We got 32 to the power of 4 because of 2 guaranteed IVs.
No one cares about the numbers.
No
one cares.
That's still 1 in 26 million. On top of Wolf's dubious history of cheating. And it's also a very rare, very special event distribution where you had to participate in a tournament, get the code, use the code within a specific time window, and then soft reset your game every time you wanted to roll for the Pikachu.
This is how Pokemon used to be, where if you wanted to play competitively, you would have to go to like a certain region of the country to get a Pokemon to use for a tournament because it's the only one that had this move one night. If you didn't have it and someone else had it, then they could have it and you couldn't have it. And if they got it at one time and let's say you worked, so you couldn't go get it at that one time, then you will never be allowed to have that Pokemon ever. So now this person has a competitive advantage in every tournament now for the rest of life because they are the only ones who got this Pokemon. And Verlisify is like, yeah, that's back when Pokemon was healthier. I like that more. Like, again, your mindset, it sucks. It sucks because I used to be the kid on the playground like, just play by the rules. I'm playing Foursquare. All you have to do is hit the ball. Just stop catching the ball. And everyone changing the rules around you so that they could stay in Foursquare. I was that kid. I grew up. I don't care. I don't care. I don't even know if people know what Foursquare is anymore.
Still didn't happen. That's not even the craziest part. So now we get to the maker of PK Hex. Kurt is the god king of Pokemon hacking. He has the final say on a Pokemon's legitimacy, and he confirmed that the
citation. I believe him. I believe him, but you need a citation here. How am I, or Penguin Zero, gonna believe you? You obviously have a vindictive personality type against Wolf. So when you say, oh, this is someone else, this person has credibility, you need to show the credibility. This is a Republican showing another Republican saying something, or a Democrat showing another Democrat saying something, going, well, you can believe it, because he has this specialty. But if they're in the same political party, who cares? You're showing me a guy who goes against other people who cheat. You guys are on the same team. You're in the same political circle, in my hypothetical. So when you talk to someone outside the political circle, the only people who are going to agree with you on this are going to go, they're already in your political circle. It's the debate style that I hate most, where someone will come up and say something, and you know that they're only saying it so that they can turn around to their political party or their group of people and go, am I right, guys? And that's it. That's the whole point of their argument. There's no actual... You're not trying to change anyone who don't already agree with you. You need to agree with me for this to be correct already. This person already agrees with you. Cool. You need to show me his citation. You need to show me why I should care what Kurt says. This is a 25-minute long video that I've been ranting about for over an hour and 15 minutes already.
Wolf used for the Players' Cup 2 was hacked. And I was suspicious of that Moltres because, again, this pattern of cheating and lying from Wolf Glick made me think, the habitual liar and cheater is now cheating and then lying about it. Alright, well, Kurt came in, saved.
Imagine having someone so obsessed with you, like Verlisify is for Wolf, where every team Wolf makes now, Verlisify is, like, drooling over her, I was gonna say his computer to try to get information on the team so that he can try to indicate why it's cheated in one way or another. It is obsessive. It is creepy at this point.
The day confirmed it's an impossible Pokemon. And somehow, Wolf got away with it. He has brainwashed his audience so hard that they will deny the indisputable facts in front of them.
They don't care.
And then it got spooky because we go back to a video I did in 2016. Again, he's calling me out, lying about me catching him cheating, turning his audience against me because he has them heavily manipulated, and then he just keeps on doing it. Habitual.
That has such a low view count that I can't imagine. But that was back when he had only 6,700 subscribers. Oh my god, you were going at him when he was at 6,700. How sad. Oh no. I feel for Verlisify. Holy shit. Verlisify was the big dog back then. This is 2016. Verlisify was the big dog, and he was going at Wolf, going, look at this cheater, what a loser cheater, and now Wolf has eclipsed him in the Pokemon community. Oh my god, oh fuck, that is brutal. I get the obsession. Brother, he called out someone for cheating, and then the guy became the biggest guy in the community while he became nothing. He fell off as this guy grew after he called him out for something that he was probably right about that no one cared. Oh, that is rough. Oh, that needs to be studied. That is a mindfuck. Like, I don't even know what I would do in Verlisify's book. This is like calling a politician out on a scandal while you're like a head senator or something. You call a politician out for a scandal, and that politician in the next election wins the presidency. And they were next to irrelevant beforehand. 6,700 subscribers Wolf had. And 2016, while Verlisify was making multi-million view videos. And that is, oh my god. Oh, I feel that is a mind fuck. I don't even know. Oh my god, I don't know. I feel so bad for him now.
And I'm hoping that a large part of that is due to a lack of like knowledge by people who are like being hateful on like how breeding mechanics and stuff works and how like VGC and stuff worked.
He's so young.
Back in Gen 5, but it was male only, so you couldn't pass down the ball. And so because of that, and that actually like is an interesting point. You can't legally get a Raichu and a Dream Ball without hacking is like what you could believe. But the thing is that if you are traded a Raichu that has been hacked and you breed from it, and the Raichu is female and it's in a Dream Ball, you can like obtain perfectly legal Pichu like eggs that are like totally legal and in Dream Balls.
Hold on. Damn it, I missed it. We are not in the position to discuss the specific terms of the legality of Pokemon. However, the Pokemon must be obtained through legitimate in-game means. Therefore, if a Pokemon is bred from an illegitimate obtained Pokemon, it is not considered legal, nor is the Pokemon that is otherwise impossible to obtain through normal means in the game. Please let us know if you have any additional question. Okay, that means nothing. That means nothing. I need to know the rules. I need to know if the rules is an auto disqualification.
Perfectly legal Pichu like eggs that are like totally legal and in Dream Balls just because the parent was hacked.
But that wasn't even enough. So even after the Players' Cup 2,
the other issue is this is a definitional argument as well of people need to understand when people say legal. What I think Wolf is saying is it's a legitimate Pokemon, like it's passing the checks. There's nothing wrong with the Pokemon other than the actual rules to the Pokemon game. Like, the Pokemon is a legitimate in-game usable Pokemon. There's nothing wrong with using that Pokemon. Like, it has the same stats as a normal Raichu. It has the same moves that are obtainable if you went through the same methods. But when he says legal, that's what he means. Legal also could mean legal, like the Pokemon Company allows you to use it. Again, if they auto-disqualify people for it, technically it wouldn't be a legal Pokemon. Again, though, this was 2016. Who cares?
he was for the Invitational.
Trump was elected, unelected, and re-elected in that time. Like, we've gone through 2 presidencies. The world has changed. Who cares? Pokemon has changed. We're 4 generations later. Or 3, I guess. I think it was Gen 6 and we're on Gen 9. But 3 generations.
We already talked about that because hackers galore for the Players' Cup Invitational. Wolf's team? Hacked. There are issues with the Groudon and Incineroar. Groudon was edited to have a 0 IV in speed. So just a hacked, edited Pokemon, which is explicitly against the rules. The use of external devices to modify or create Pokemon in a player's party is expressly forbidden, regardless if that Pokemon belongs to the player. And then the Incineroar also has some very commonly hacked values. 0 height, weight, hidden values. You know, common mistake when fabricating data. Otherwise, 1 in 139 billion. So we have hundreds of trillions, just straight up impossible, can only be hacked.
Okay.
Multiple tens of millions. The Moltres was also very, very low odds. And then, 139 billion. I don't know why Wolfey even has a YouTube channel or is even playing competitive Pokemon when he should just be hitting the lottery every single day. And if the statistical odds of the Incineroar are unconvincing, there's also issue with the OT name. Trainer names should not have data at the end of the string, but the Incineroar does. Most likely from a modified distribution, this Pokemon is so hacked that even the maker of Pika Hex doesn't know how it's this hacked. And then the Wolf's sheep come crawling in. I can't comprehend how someone can be this broken. Why did you pick a casual invitational and take your shots? I feel like when you invite exclusively world champion...
Now, I also agree with this. You're going to have a lot of people come in now. Like I said, you're going to have a lot of the... I used to deal with this too. Of people come in and go, well, it wasn't hacked because of this, and this. And you go, actually, no, because of this, and this. And then they go, well, it's hacked, but who cares? Okay, just start with that. You don't care that it's hacked. Okay, then we don't even need to have the argument. But back in my 2016, when I was against Pokemon hacking days, I was the exact same way. And this was every argument. Like, and again, going back to the political field, you still have the same thing. What about this, and this? Well, actually, it's this, and this. Well, I don't care. I don't like them anyways. Okay, so why do you not like this guy? Because of this. Okay, what if I told you that isn't true? Well, I still wouldn't like him. Okay, so whatever. Then I'm lost in this conversation. But Wolf's entire persona isn't that he's not a cheater. It's the fact that he's the best Pokemon player in the freaking world right now. So you saying, well, he doesn't deserve a Pokemon channel and whatnot. Like I said, I feel for Verlisify, though. Verlisify literally watched this person that grew from nothing to being a planet above him. And at the time, when Verlisify was the big dog, he called the guy out. That is so sad. That is so sad.
You don't have a casual invitational. Like the one tournament that isn't high stakes.
So he's just going to argue with
for Wolf Glick. And then his constant lying about it. And then also, as I showed recently, Wolf has a hacked Switch. And he was commissioning hacks for Pokemon games. And it looks like me kind of bringing attention to this did get him in trouble, and he had to delete the tweet. So, again, more lying, more deception, more covering up of what's going on here. He's doing wrong. He's showing admittance to doing wrong. And yet people still defend him, and he still tries to lie his way out of it.
Alright, well, we're done with that video. Sadly, oh my god, we're like, this is gonna be like 2 hours of recording time. But this one's only 15 minutes, so let's go. So the last one was about Penguin Zero needs to watch this because Verlisify thinks fucking whatever. But this is proof Pokemon VGC is dying because of WolfeyVGC. I need to know this. I need to know this because I think VGC is literally at its biggest point it's ever been in the history of Pokemon right now. So this is the hardest argument ever to make. This is literally like the Super Bowl having the most viewers ever and someone going, football's dying. Like, it's that argument. Or Kendrick Lamar being like the biggest rapper in the industry. Like, one of the biggest, like, artists in the industry. And then when he goes out there on stage, your family goes, I've never heard of this guy. We need someone more relevant, like Garth Brooks. Like, this is that level of take from outside glance. Maybe he can make a good argument for it. Let's hear it.
And it's because of Wolf Glick. Don't let anyone lie and tell you otherwise. This video will prove it.
But Verlisify's wrong. We just had a record event for Pokemon VGC. 1,400 people at the...
Is he impersonating me? Oh my god, he nailed it. That's exactly what I sound like. That was creepy.
Pokemon European Championships.
Well, they're already, like, really desperate to stretch the numbers if you're including senior and junior division, which actually did not grow over the last year. So it's like, yeah, 1,250 people in Pokemon VGC for Master Division. That's kind of like the only...
So, alright, let's talk about it. So, Scarlet and Violet has been out since. Let's crunch some numbers. Scarlet and Violet release date. Holy shit. That cannot be right. Holy crap. Okay. These games are even older than I thought they were. Okay, so these came out at the end of 22, so let's go off of his numbers from 23. So, for the junior division, 41. So, if someone buys the game, Scarlet and Violet, they're a junior. They're 41. Then 55. So more people are entering the game. Now, we are 2 years in to a game that has usually a cycle about 2-3 years, generations, different games come out, yada yada. But this is purely Scarlet and Violet, because remember, Legends Arceus did not provide a new game mode. Sword and Shield was the last game mode. So we're going just based on this. 55. Why do you think that number dropped? Well, my guess is it probably dropped because no one new is picking up a game that's this old. Why would a junior right now jump in to competitive? And now these people, these 5, are probably included in this number, would be my guess. I have no way of knowing that, but to me, I think that's how juniors work. They probably grow up. So over a 2-year span, no other person, a kid that's 7, isn't picking up this game and becoming a junior like on this level. Why would they not wait until the next game? Because these juniors are already now like competitive level. He also said that the seniors didn't grow. It did. Small, but it did. And that also grew. But also, since Scarlet and Violet came out, look at that. Now that's from the pandemic numbers, but I'm sure it was even lower before that. So, what do you mean? Like, you could say that they barely grew. The juniors probably just moved up to the new division, and the senior, like, I don't... Huh?
Number that really counts. Problem. Flashbang warning as well. Pokemon has sold 26 million units for Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. So we have the fastest selling Pokemon games ever, and likely the highest selling Pokemon games ever in the first 3 years, and all we can get is 1,250 competitors. Where does that put us compared to other tournaments?
Okay, you can't look at other stuff. Cannot look at other stuff. Pokemon is not viewed as a competitive game except for a very niche audience. Pokemon competitive, like the start of the competitive scene is like most places like gold tier in like Valorant. Like for Valorant, everyone plays Valorant and most people probably play a little bit of comp, whatnot. And all of them are in like the lower, the irons, the bronze, the silver, like, and then I think the like low gold holds like half of the competitive player base. Pokemon doesn't have that lower half. That lower half is people who never even touch comp. So there's people like me growing up. When I played Pokemon Gen 2, you beat the Elite Four, you beat the champion, you beat Red, and then you restart your game. I think a lot of people play Pokemon that way. Or you got a lot of the girls. Love you guys. A lot of the girls out there just shiny hunt. You got people who the entire Pokemon game is just, I want a shiny hunt. I don't give a crap. I don't even know what competitive battles is. I'm here to collect the shiny Pokemon. So Pokemon has such a wide variety of different gameplay styles that inherently you're not going to have a huge player base. Combine that with the numbers behind Pokemon. Pokemon is not a pick up and play type game. It's a research game. Look at Wolf Glick. I know you hate Wolf Glick, but look at Wolf when he shows how much studying he does before a tournament. He has spreadsheets of calcs. Like, that's not appealing for the average person coming in. Like, the fact that I know what I know about Pokemon, other people, when they start, it's like, to me, it's like, what the hell? What are you trying to do here? Well, these Pokemon have the best stats. It's like, yeah, but they don't work together in any way. But to me, I've been playing for so many years. So, fighting games are obviously, you pick up a fighting game, it's like, okay, this is a fighter. Someone who's good at a fighting game is probably going to be good at most fighting games. Someone who's good at competitive shooters is probably going to be good at most competitive shooters. I don't know a lot of people who are coming to Pokemon from other turn-based playstyle games. Like, and even then, I don't really know how popular turn-based playstyle games are versus the Valorants, versus the Marvel Rivals, versus Call of Duty even. And even the COD World Leagues are falling off.
Like Evo. Congratulations, Pokemon VGC is at the same level of Grand Blue Fantasy versus Rising. That is how niche Pokemon competitive is. But there might be some hope, because we are twice as popular as Undernight Inbirth 2, Sis Celeste. Now, I showed this at the beginning of the video. We got 13,000 people for the Global Challenge 2025 number 2. That's gotta mean something, right? No, it actually proves that VGC is dead. So, once you go outside of Japan, and then you have the handful of cheaters that made it kind of to the top, it's all Japanese players. And it's actually crazy how, yeah, it's only Japanese players playing and competing in the Pokemon games these days. But it's been like that for all of Pokemon.
So, a Japanese game has mostly Japanese players. Do I have to explain why that might be the case? Are you aware that Pokemon is like a national, like, they have blimps of Pokemon there? Like, you go, I want to visit Tokyo, I want to go there for like a Pokemon Day. Like, Pokemon Day is almost like a national holiday. I don't want to say national holiday, it's not that extreme. But it's like, you go there, if you say Pokemon, everyone knows what you're talking about. In the United States, it's not that way. Like, yeah, the home country of the game is probably the biggest competitors of the game. I believe that. I'm so curious on it's growing but it's dying. Because if you just said it should be at a higher level than it is, I agree with that argument. Pokemon competitive, I hope it grows to the moon. I hope these next games are, especially with Pokemon Champions. Oh my god, I would love to see people like Penguin Zero, and I would love to see people like even who are some more like variety streamers, people like Ray Narvaez Jr. and whatnot. I would love to see them grind those games out a bit, which it's gonna be easier than try and grind out these competitive games. So I would love to see the community grow, but when it's growing, but it's not growing at a fast enough rate, so you say it's dying? That seems a little odd to me.
Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. That was like kind of the crazy thing of like, wow, competitive Pokemon is immediately dead in the West. Playing in December, it's like 2% of players on the in-game ladder are English players. And then you look at the rankings, and it's overwhelmingly Japanese players. What do we give the scenario? 10% English players, 10% Western players, because we also have like Chinese players and some other languages and stuff.
Is
Like
that
Europe
an
has
issue?
some representations, like 15% of 13,000. It's like 2,000 players for an online event that has no entry restrictions. Because, like, yeah, international is going to have the highest draw because most championship points, largest venue, and prize money. We're also going to see how the North American International Championship goes, but that's a couple of months off. And the thing is, Worlds doesn't really count, so you can't be like, but EVO's a larger event, that's like the Worlds for some people. Yeah, but Worlds isn't open for Pokemon. And this year, it's worse, because instead of a championship point cutoff...
Doesn't that go against your argument? Like, yeah, Worlds is... Yeah. like... I'm sorry, what's the argument here? So yeah, Worlds consists of like the 500 best players. So of course it's not going to grow every year because it's 500 of the best players. Even if it grows to 750, that shows nothing because that just shows that they allowed more people in. You have to take the player base on the in-game ladder, local regionals. How many locals are even being ran? That's a good statistic on it. Like, even if only 30 people are showing up, if every city is doing it every weekend, that's a bigger player base than when it used to be 50 people show up for the once-a-month tournament. I mean, there's different ways of looking at this. I don't really understand.
It's actually, you need to be in the top 75 of players for championship points, or else you don't get a Worlds invite. Which is actually another nail in the coffin. Flashbang warning again. Because global challenges are more important than ever. That's like, oh, you only get 20 championship points for top 1,000? Well, at least 2,000 people are entering. So yeah, you actually get, 1,000th out of 13,000 players, which isn't hard to do at all. And then you get 20 championship points. So even as like one of the worst performing global challenge, you barely even gave it any effort because you don't have time. Well, that can actually be the difference between making Worlds or not, because you need...
Also, we're looking at the people who are trying to make it to Worlds. So not only are you taking a niche group of people, the competitive player base, but then you're taking the competitive player base that cares enough to make it like a part-time job, essentially. Like, I don't even do like online tournaments, and I'm a hardcore Pokemon fan. Maybe I'll start. I think I will with the next games, honestly. But what you're taking like a niche of a niche of a niche.
Need to have more championship points than the other person, and if you do like a top 500 or top 200 3 times, that's 150 points. That actually matters significantly. So more people should be entering these global challenges than ever before if VGC is thriving and has a large competitive scene, because now this actually matters. Actually, Pokemon International attendance is completely fake because it's a best finish limit of 5 shared with regionals and special championships. So you have to go to every internationals or you have no shot at Worlds. Or you at least have to go to multiple of them, so every competitor in NA is going to go to Europe to get the championship points they need, or else they do not go to Worlds. Also, the pool of money laundering has been super inflated, so that's going to raise attendance naturally right there, and maybe convert 10 Wolf fans for every event.
So it's growing. The price pool went up, so more people are going to be here, so it's not growing. What's your argument?
Where they're like, yeah, I'll make a team and I'll try to win some money, even though they just get completely curb stomped out of it because they are trying to be honest, legitimate players following someone evil and a cheater like Wolf Glick. It's not going to end well. Now, fortunately, in Pokemon Home, we can go back to Generation 8, and we can see the same time frame. We have Global Challenge 2022, so Year 3 of Pokemon Sword and Shield versus Year 3 of Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, and then we have the online challenge that directly rewards for VGC. So, take your guesses. 10,000, VGC is clearly...
Pandemic era. December of 2019 up till early 2023. So online tournament you're telling me was more popular when everyone was forced to be inside? Wasn't Sword and Shield also at the time like multiple tournaments had to be done online because they couldn't do them in person because of COVID restrictions? Especially in cities that had harsher restrictions than like rural areas, so a lot of cities probably wouldn't run events. I would be surprised if online tournaments were not more popular back when everyone was stuck inside. I would be amazed, actually.
Especially with Wolf Glick getting more popular. So 13,000, maybe it's the exact same right now. 43,000. So VGC has shrunk by...
So 5,622. Let's go back to my handy dandy little chart here. 5,622 would fall into various waves of a pandemic, restrictions, and vaccine rollouts. I would guess that might have influenced why people were playing games online a little bit more. Just a little curiosity. A lot of people maybe not back at their jobs yet. I mean, that's just one thing. That's not to mention that in modern day, look at the different game competitions you have of people going for. People usually don't just play one game. I mean, you got Marvel Rivals out. You got Valorant. You got people probably aren't on the Pokemon grind. Pokemon's competing with some good competitive scenes right now.
30,000 players over the course of Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, which is why these attendance numbers don't mean crap. Cool, you have the same cheaters stealing prize money from each other that you've always had, and then you just have a couple of newbies that don't realize they're getting farmed, and they're showing up just because, yeah, it's an international event you can just show up to in a large city or a centralized European area. Same thing for North America. And, like, this is your proof right here. And I thought 42,000 players at the end of Pokemon Sword and Shield was bad, because we saw, like, yeah, beginning of Pokemon Sword and Shield, entrance was pretty good. It looks like VGC was kind of bouncing up and would maybe hold it. But no, it completely cratered. So this is the cratering at the end of Sword and Shield where everyone's like, yeah, it's GG. So let's compare.
It probably would crater. Like I said, at the end of 3 years of the single game, but a lot of people are probably waiting for Gen 10 at this point. And if anything to criticize Wolf for, the one thing to criticize him for is he's won so many of these tournaments. I think a lot of people might not show up because they just can't beat the top players. There's such a skill difference between Wolf and like everyone else. Like it's gonna be, or even like Worlds when that it's hard when you go into a tournament that could have 500 people, and Wolf would probably, if I had to put my money on it, I would put more money on him than I would put more money on him than I think I would the other 499 people going against him. It's like statistically that shouldn't be the case, but right now he's one of the best players in the world. I mean, it wouldn't be a bad bet.
Compare late stage Pokemon Sword and Shield.
And I mean that with every regional. If Wolf is at a regional, you might as well if you were a betting man, put some money on him, because he's statistically right now the best player in the game. It's no different than watching baseball right now. Before a single baseball game going on, I would bet on the Dodgers. I hate the Dodgers, but they're probably the most likely to win the whole thing, and I can say that right now.
Shield Milwaukee Regionals, 179 players. So 43,000 participants in the Global Challenge, translating to around actually not even around, just less than 200 players. So we have same thing for year 1 Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, and it's actually got 563. And then we have Baltimore at 646. So there's a weird thing where, like, no one's playing the game, but more cheaters have come in to steal prize money because the prize support has gone up. That's really all that's happening here. Let's actually go back for Pokemon Sword.
Can I just say stuff? Would that just make YouTube better? Can I just make comments? Can I say Verlisify is making this video because he secretly has a crush on Wolf and the jealousy is just hurting him so badly that he has to make this video? I don't need evidence. I won't even show support for it, but can I just say that? Is that allowed? Because at this point, that's all he does. All he does is says that, oh, these cheaters are coming in to take money from people, and their only cheaters are facing each other, so that it's cheater against cheater, but you shouldn't join them because cheaters are going to win, and, like, okay. Like, I also don't understand the point of the cheaters winning, and that's a bad thing because they're going against another cheater. Well, then another cheater is just going to win. And it's not cheating! We looked at the rules! The rules say may disqualify. May! They're not disqualifying people! Show me someone who gets banned and someone who doesn't in the same tournament! That's what matters. I'm losing my
Sword and
mind.
Shield, because this is later. Like Global Challenge Spring, that's May. So let's go back to International Challenge March. Excuse me? 304,000 players in
31122. Let's go back to my handy dandy little note. But yeah, everyone was inside because of the pandemic. Also, mind you, the fact that Scarlet and Violet sold so well is actually crazy because I bet you Sword and Shield got a huge boost because of the pandemic. How many people literally just played games for 2-3 years during the pandemic? I mean, Pokemon probably has the advantage of everyone knows the name of the game. The Switch is a very popular console. Nintendo always has the advantage of everyone has a gaming PC or a Xbox or a PlayStation, but everyone also has the Nintendo product. So it's a good selling console. You're in a pandemic, and Pokemon is a game that you could grind a lot of hours into. So pandemic era, you have more players. That makes sense to me. And then the fact that Scarlet and Violet even sold the same amount of copies is good. But now life moves on. People went back to their jobs. People are now playing other games. Marvel Rivals, Valorant. I'm a Black Ops 6 even. Like, I know that game's not doing the greatest, but like there's more competition. I bet you during the pandemic era there was a group of very prominent people that played Warzone and Pokemon, and that was about it. Like, that would make sense to me. But now the pandemic's over. You're gonna have less of an online result, and you might not see it with every game. Other games might have done stuff right. Pokemon also is on its 3rd year now of this game rotation.
Pokemon Sword and Shield for 2022? Surely that was just a mistake, and we need to go to the February International Challenge with 327,000 players. Oh hey, and look at that, we got a top VGC player there, and if we actually go back to Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, oh, there's our cheater at 3rd place. Isn't Pokemon healthy? Let's see what...
Did we just determine he was a cheater? How... What was the... What... What?
VGC player there, and if we actually go back to Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, oh, there's our cheater at 3rd place. Isn't
cheater? What? How did we determine he was a cheater? Did I miss something? I must have missed something.
players? Oh hey, and look at that, we got a top VGC player there, and if we actually go back to Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, oh, there's our cheater at 3rd place. Isn't Pokemon healthy? Let's see what other events.
What? Did he even try to tell me why he was cheating? Did I black out? Like, oh my god! I know I've been doing this for like 2 hours, but I don't even know what to say. Am I supposed to know who that guy was? Maybe that guy's like huge in the VGC scene, and I'm just like, I'm the only person who doesn't know who he is. I don't.
Are going on. So, yeah, it's like Team Star Challenge. That's going to be 14,000. So Japan, they're just having fun. They'll actually play Pokemon. That's also singles. So you're thinking like, oh yeah, Pokemon singles. All right, global.
It's a Japanese game. Yes, Japan probably has a bigger player base than the rest of the world. It's a Japanese game.
Challenge 2023 number 1, 60,000. So the start of Pokemon Scarlet and Violet looking a bit healthier than the end of Pokemon Sword and Shield, but then we can just see like the cratering of, despite Wolf's rise in popularity and the Pokemon Company giving him more and more features than ever, VGC is more dead than ever. Hey, Lin VGC. It's just
more dead than ever. More dead than the pandemic era last generation of games. It's not the healthiest community. I hate that I even have to defend this because Pokemon should be bigger. Pokemon Champions should be the change that we need. We could be a competitive game. We want to be competitive. We want to be taken seriously. Pokemon trainers all over want to be. I want to make more money. I want to go to a tournament and make good money if I win the tournament. Like, it's not dying. I'm sorry. It's just not. But you're looking at a game that's lasted for 3 years. Yes, the player base falls off. They move on. More games are released. Like, and frankly, the next generation, maybe no one plays. I don't know. But I don't even know how this is Wolf's fault. Wolf is just getting popular off the content with that. More people are watching Pokemon content. More people are interested in it. I still think one of the big issues is Pokemon doesn't advertise out well enough. I, as a Pokemon fan, would not know about Pokemon Detroit. If something is happening in Detroit, a local for me, I don't know about it unless I go and search for it. Like, that's something, as someone in the Pokemon community, I should know about right away. Like, hey, this is the schedule. We're going to be in Detroit. This is how much it's going to cost. This is how you sign up. This is the team. This is the rule set. Like, I should know all that. And then maybe I would go to Detroit and make a team and go play. It also is hard. We do have a smaller player base in the United States. If something is in Chicago, I might go down from Michigan. But other than that, I'm not going to New York for a Pokemon tournament, especially when the payout isn't that good. It all goes hand in hand, though. As the community grows, the price pool goes up, the interest goes up. Like, everything is all exponential. We should be happy that we're not in the DS era anymore. It is more likely that Pokemon will keep growing, especially with Pokemon Champions coming out. How is this Wolf's fault? I still don't even understand that. Andrew Tate with 10th?
it's like, oh, you can just kind of see like how small it is, where it's like, yep, it's all the same cheaters floating to the top, and then the rest are Japanese players. Fun.
Does he have an issue with Japanese people? I know he has some sketchy stuff in the past, whatnot. I'm not bringing up his personal life. The way he's talking about this is super weird to me. Of, like, it's only Japanese people and cheaters. If Americans up there, they must be a cheater, and Japanese people are up there. It's a Japanese game. It's more ingrained in their culture. Of course, they're gonna be better at it. They care about the game more than us. I'm sure. I could be wrong about that, but
what a healthy and alive scene we have. Lin VGC is the 2023 Liverpool finalist that got.
Can you stop? Who's Kurt? Who's Kurt? Tell me who Kurt is. You use him for everything. Tell me who he is. Why should I care? Especially like a Goldango. Nowadays, you can't. Why would you cheat? Battle caps and whatnot are the easiest thing in the world. I don't even know why you're looking for cheaters anymore. Unless it's a Trick Room team, which the second one is. But if it's not a Trick Room team, why would you cheat? Because Trick Room you need to for IVs on the speed, obviously. But I guess they did so that foul play didn't hurt their Goldango as badly. But even then, I don't think it's the hardest thing to find a Goldango with no fucking attack IVs.
Dinged by Kurt. Kitakami Prologue. 27,000.
That's all you showed?
All Japanese players because it's non-VGC. Actually, all Japanese players. That's freaking crazy.
It's a Japanese game!
So, yeah,
I'm losing my mind. I'm losing my mind.
Ladder. And then, like, if you actually go into the battle stadium, you can actually really get a feel for how inactive it is. So make it make sense. Record attendance at an international event, which is lower than any Yu-Gi-Oh tournament. So that's another thing you don't consider. It's like, oh, Yu-Gi-Oh has no prize support, and it's more expensive to get into, and there's just much higher barriers to entry on like difficulty and time investment. They just do it for the love of the game, and you can get them to turn out in twice.
he might even be right here, but I'm gonna just say it again. Citation, please. Even if you're right, I don't care. You're making a video. Citation, please. For the love of God, this is all you do. All you do is criticize Pokemon and Pokemon players and cheaters and whatnot. Can you have a citation for something, please? For the love of God. I'm losing my mind. All he does is complain about Japanese people and cheaters. And he provides no evidence for anything he says. Except for evidence from other people that I don't even know why I should trust their evidence. I don't know what's happening here. I'm losing my mind. I've been doing this for 2 hours. The AC has to be off because of big background noise. I'm fucking hot.
The amount of numbers as VGC players. And then we can check out the Pokemon YouTube channel where we see, like, the vast difference, where top 4, 150k with Wolf, also, like, troop across. So we have, like, 2 OGs, 150k, but then the finals is going to be 506k, so people don't even...
Finals would naturally have the most views, yes. That makes sense. You also have to exclude the people who probably already saw it in the live stream. Why would they go back and watch it? You also have to consider that Wolf used a weird Paris Trap team. That's going to make the video more popular as is. So right there, 3 reasons that that's going to be a popular video. Paris Trap, Wolf Glick, and a final. Yeah, that's going to be even if Wolf, like, just makes it to a final with any team ever. Wolf is a popular YouTuber. People watch Wolf. His name comes up, you're going to click it. If Markiplier made it there, I bet it would get a couple million views. I know it's hyperbolic, with obviously, but if Markiplier got there, I bet you Pokemon has the biggest like video they ever have of Markiplier being in a tournament. I bet Markiplier gets top 8. That video makes more. If he even appears on one stream, I bet it's one of the biggest videos Pokemon ever makes. But that's because he's popular. Wolf is popular. But like I said, it's just because Verlisify has a crush on Wolf, and it's actually jealous rage, and he's just upset that when Verlisify fell off, Wolf growed up. I don't need to show you anything. I'm just saying this, but that seems okay to just say things. I'm actually more impressed that like Pokemon Go gets views at all.
Care about like some kind of top 4 showdown, and then no Wolf Glick, that's 16k. So it also shows like Marco. Wait, the same Marco? And then we can also see all the international championships he's stolen. So yeah, it's all just a big cheater cabal. The Pokémon Company.
Citation, please! Not only do you have to say that he's a cheater, I don't know who Marco is. You gotta tell me why he is a cheater, and then tell me what... It's a new generation, too. I don't even know if you can cheat in this generation, because it says may exclude. I'm losing my mind. I could make this into 7 videos and get probably all the views of all the Verlisify haters, but I don't want to do that. I don't want to sit here and criticize them all day. I just don't understand this. Like, I need to start arguing about politics more, because then it makes sense. My anger here makes sense of the toxic arguing style that these people have. When you're in the political scene, you see it all the time, and now it's like, when you come into anything else and you hear people talk, you're like, they provide no information. Ever. And they're just allowed to. It's crazy.
That's their friends cheat. No one else stands a chance. Oh, and we also have Texas regional champion Giovanni Costa. So, ignoring every one of these players being cheaters, we have one of the most stacked top 4s ever for storylines where it's like, bro, this is practically like world's level hype. This is like when you have all the 4 gods of Melee that are active at the time, where it's like, yo, it's Mango versus Armada versus Leffen versus Hungrybox in top 4. That's going to be like the most hype thing ever. I guess it's missing Joseph Ugart, but still, like, this is a very stacked top 4. Also, hilarious thing about Joe is that he's the one that started the team sheets, where he would share the rental team without a code and say, yeah, this is the team sheet, because he doesn't want his team getting data mined by Kurt and then proving he's a cheater. And how could we forget...
This is also something you need to watch out for. The people trying to become relevant. The Kurt, they don't want Kurt to, because Kurt's going to take him out. No one knows who Kurt is. No one cares. So this is the thing when it comes to conspiracy theories. In Verlisify's mind, the Pokemon Company doesn't care if people cheat. However, they care so much that they're afraid that Kurt's going to expose them for cheating. Pokemon Company can determine if people cheat or not. Why would they give a shit? Like, the conspiracy theory itself doesn't make sense. The Pokemon community doesn't want people to know that they're cheating. Well, actively not caring that they cheat. Why would they care? Like, make that make sense. Maybe I'm lost on this, but like, it would be like the NFL, like, not caring if people knew that people cheated, but then still try to hide out that they cheat. Like, it doesn't matter if no one cares in this situation that they cheat. So when you say, "Hey, I'm calling them out," me as a 50,000 view Andy on YouTube, I am gonna. Oh, we're gonna expose them. A Twitter account. Ooh, we're gonna expose them if they cheat. So they're really careful about this. But the company that runs the tournaments don't care if they cheat. Like, it make it make sense. And the people watching don't care. Like I said, if everyone in Wolf's community knows that he Pokemon, he hacked Pokemons, whatever, you might lose 10,000 subscribers. That would surprise me. If he lost 10,000 subscribers on it, I bet you most people in the Pokemon community don't even know what cheating is. When you say that Wolf cheats Pokemon, they legitimately probably think to themselves, "Oh, he's using illegitimate mods." And then when you go, no, they're like legitimate, they're like in-game Pokemon, but he didn't make them himself. He hacked them in. And they'll go, "Oh, okay." Like no one cares. No one cares. The only one who cares has cared now for over a decade.
The Tang Gang. I guess there is some poetry in the world where Wolf didn't make it to Day 2 Worlds because Shiliang cheated. So the Tang brothers are cheaters. What prize are they stealing? Knoxville, Fort Wayne, San Antonio champion. And then same thing, we're just like, no care, no traction, no attention, unless it's Wolf Glick. And then the corruption in the Pokemon Company to just milk it for all it's worth is actually insane. Oh, dude, that's also crazy because this is still about Wolf. And if it doesn't have Wolf in the thumbnail, it's not going to perform. That's why.
Oh my fucking god, it was posted 2 hours ago, my man. Oh my god. 10,000 views in 2 hours. Maybe it won't perform well. Maybe it won't. Because guess what? Wolf has so many subscribers. So many people are going to watch that just for him. It's also in episode 2. Episode 2s always do worse than episode 1 of everything ever. Typically. Obviously, with exceptions. But 7 days ago, 300,000 views. 2 hours ago, 10,000. It fell off. No one's going to watch that. Oh my god, look, it's not even going to hit the algorithm. Brother, you're on a video here that only has 90,000 views. That was posted 90,000 views. That was posted 7 days ago. That has Wolf in it. Just, you say words. Words come out of your mouth. They mean nothing.
Wild. So yeah, despite the attention that Wolf gives...
And that's a 30-second video. That's 35 minutes. Make it make sense. Make it make sense.
Pokemon, even though Wolf has only gotten that popularity because of all the features from the Pokemon Company and the incredible amount of support from the largest franchise in the world, it hasn't generated...
Maybe he's also entertaining. It's a hand-holding relationship here. Pokemon grows. Their content creators grow. Pokemon has done a really bad job. Nintendo, actually, it's done a really bad job at supporting their fans. Nintendo should be supporting the Chugga Conroys. Pokemon should be supporting the J-Wits back in the day. The M&J TV now. The Wolf now. Like, they should. That's what they should do. Especially if they want the games to become bigger. You should have Let's Players that... Pokemon should be, like, propping up some big Let's Players. Or even streamers. Rainervez Jr. is not a Pokemon streamer by any means. But when he does Pokemon content, the Pokemon Company should... Hey, this big streamer, top 51 in the world. He's streaming our game. Like, Moist Critical, like, if he does anything involving Pokemon, he should get benefit. Like, this makes sense. It's a hand-holding, it's a mutual relationship. This is where Verlisify, though, I honestly think it's a jealousy thing, in a way. And I have no evidence for this, obviously. 2016... Verlisify is looking down at a young Wolf and going, "You're a cheater. You are scum. You're not going to get anywhere." And now he's looking up at him. And he's going, "Oh my god, this cheater, this person that I hate, I have a personal vendetta against, is now the face of competitive Pokemon. It must be heartbreaking. It has to be. I mean, just imagine that. Imagine watching your rival, the one that doesn't even look at you, doesn't even know you exist anymore, and he is now getting his hand held by a Pokemon Company. So Verlisify has to hate the Pokemon Company. He has to hate the big creators, because he could have been there. He was just before his time. He was popular before it mattered, and then the toxicity, the hatred. He's became a disgusting person off of it. It's hard to see. It really is. Watching him back when he was just like, oh, most people do this with a Pokemon, and now I'm going to do this with it. And people would criticize his team building and whatnot, use it, and it would work, and then they would still criticize him. And I sat there going, why are you criticizing him? I didn't get it at the time. And when he called out cheaters, I was always like, well, you're right. You're a little too aggressive with it, but you're right. And now I'm sitting here watching him. I'm just going, dude, it's 10 years later. Give up. It's the only thing on your channel doing anything good. Give up. Just play Pokemon. Play games. Have some fun. Enjoy this. Like, Pokemon is growing, and you want so badly for it not to. Like, I think everyone has those friends that just hate a company with such a passion that whatever the company does, it doesn't matter. They have to despise it. Or they might feel that way about like a politician or anything, where there is legitimately people out there where if someone cured world hunger, they would have to ask what political party that person was from, because that would decide if I supported them solving world hunger. We're getting that way with everything. There are people out there where best game ever comes out. Did Nintendo make it? Fuck Nintendo. It's like, dude, it's the best game ever. I don't care. It's Nintendo. Scummy practices. It's like, okay. And it's fair to do it, but Verlisify has hit that point. If you are big in the Pokemon community, you are in his spot. Somewhere that he probably should have been forever ago, and he fell off of. And it's to the point he's going to be obsessed. He is going to be in the retirement home someday going, Wolf cheated, Moonball, Raichu, Anguslash. He's going to be that person. And he's going to be giving him medicine and getting told, it's okay. They're not here anymore. They won't hurt you. The big bad Pokemon Company is on generation 25 now. Like, don't worry, they'll die off. No, they're falling downhill. The biggest turnout ever? No, let me tell you why they're failing. They have to be failing. It's ridiculous. I'm losing my mind, guys, by the way. I'm about 2.5 hours into reacting to Verlisify.
Right, anything back for Pokemon. And then the YouTube algorithm turboing his channel from the attention, also him fraudulently leveraging his world championship title that he popular. Had 9 years ago. He only won because he had a team of Pokemon with impossible to humanly obtain stats, and then just kind of took it to the bank and lied about it all the way, and then the Pokemon Company
cry more. Not only that, you're saying that now. He's only popular off of that. He's grown millions of subscribers since then. You didn't like him back when he had 6,500, basically. He's at millions. And you're saying, well, they wouldn't have liked him if he didn't win one world champion back then? You think that's the case? Watch his video. React to a video of his. He's entertaining. When it comes to the competitive Pokemon scene, there's not much there. Me personally, I only watch 2 competitive Pokemon players, and it's Wolf and Moxie boosted. Moxie makes more unique team. Wolf battles better than anyone else. Now, there's more out there, but in my opinion, those are the 2 right now that I am entertained by. Now, for Pokemon YouTubers, there's more from that point. You got the challenge run people, you got the small ants, you got the John Stone, you got M&J TV, you got different people out there. But when it comes to the actual VGC battling, it's Wolf and Moxie that are the 2 that I'm big fans of. Like, I just don't get it. I don't get the argument here.
You do get that algorithm feedback loop, and then the result is none of Wolf's fans care about competitive Pokemon. That's crazy. 6 million subscribers over the years, and there's no Pokemon fans left. What a tragedy. Made even worse that, like, the person they propped up is just getting special treatment and favoritism by the Pokemon Company because he's friends with people inside of it. We also saw with Ray Rizzo. Ray Rizzo gets caught hacking Dream Ball Aegislash, lying about it on Facebook, gets hired.
I said I said it. He's gonna be in the retirement home complaining about it, and he just did it. Oh no.
By the Pokemon Company, because Cybertron, who also hacked all of his Pokemon back in Generation 5, ended up working for Pokemon, looks out for all of his friends. We got corrupt entities like Scott Glaza and whoever else is working for the Pokemon Company.
Props. He's calling people by name. I have no idea who these people are. I would have to do the research, so he's getting there, though. He's saying people's names. He's...
Company. Just kind of fueling all of this, and then the result is actually crap. So competitive Pokemon's dead, and there's not really any interaction with Pokemon either, and that's because the poster child is an evil liar, cheater, and thief who also supported a self-admitted abuser.
I don't like him. I don't like him, so Pokemon must be dying. I'm losing my mind here, guys. I deserve subscribers. I'm reacting for so long. It's 2.5 hours. I made like an hour and a half worth of like actual content off of his stuff. Like, and now I'm gonna go through and edit. I'm probably gonna provide more information than he even did.
The Pokemon Company has to do is ban Wolf and all the cheaters like any other sport or...
Just ban the whole player base! That'll work! Just ban the whole player base! How do you get player base? You ban them all! You ban them all so this 50k Andy can be happy. That's how you make we solved it! Oh my god! Why didn't Pokemon do that forever ago? Yeah, just ban the whole player base! Holy shit! Ban the most popular person, the only one giving you views on your channel. Ban him! That'll grow the channel. I'm losing my goddamn mind.
Competitive game has ever done throughout the entirety of history. Like, it's crazy how it's only Pokemon that is this corrupt. People can say, like, steroid stuff inside of sports and stuff, but those athletes eventually do get punished. Barry Bonds is not in the Hall of Fame.
Performance enhancing drug. Obtainable Pokemon that just, instead of being legally obtained, just got brought in. You can't be this dense. You can't. You can't be this dense. And also, Barry Bonds might not be in the Hall of Fame. His team record still stands. Those teams didn't lose those. You have bullshit calls in sports all the time. You have teams that get screwed over. You have cheaters. It happens. The thing is, though, even in this situation, you give Wolf that team legally. Say, I just built the team for him. I built Wolf this exact same team. It took me forever. I built it, though. Do you think he doesn't make it to the finals because yada 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 yada? Like, he's the best Pokemon player in the world right now. He's beating other high-level players on unbelievable rates. It's just is what it is. I'm sorry to say. And now you don't have a single argument because now it says may disqualify. Literally, Pokemon can do it in their discretion. It's the same thing with like steroid use, drug use, and they might disqualify you. It depends if you get popped. It depends how they feel that day.
Lance Armstrong lost everything, and even in the UFC, if someone gets dinged hard enough, they're toast. Sometimes it's like, yeah, everyone knows that everyone is on something, but we've had it where like Wolf is a proven cheater. He got caught red-handed. He did not piss clean, and then he's still allowed to compete and cheat, as well as like all these other top players, like every top player in VGC.
So ban them all! How do we grow our player base? Get rid of the player base! Like, I don't... Oh my god, this is a guy who can't look at it from anyone else's perspective, though. I'm going right back to that same argument. This is a guy that legitimately looks at thing and go, I hate this guy, why don't you hate him? It's... like, universally. That's his whole argument for everything ever. There's nothing else. Like... he legitimately thinks if I got my way, if everything happened exactly how I want it to happen, the thing would grow. Bro, your channel can't grow. Wolfglick eclipsed you when you were calling him a cheater, and you were fucking right. You are so dislikable that even when you are right, people can't follow you. People don't agree with you. I make one video criticizing your opinion of a game that I like that you dislike. I had thousands of comments telling me what a bad person you are. And I defended you in a lot of them. A lot of them, I'm like, don't call him names. Don't call him stupid. Like, don't make fun of him for stuff outside of Pokemon. But you are so unlikable here, and it's because you call everyone cheater. Wolfey, oh, he doesn't mind if people get abused. Oh, he's cheating. All these people are cheaters. Everyone cheater. Or Japanese. Like, there's nothing here.
So you just remove them, and then Pokemon will grow to heights we've never seen before. But then the Pokemon Company money laundering to friends scheme doesn't work anymore. That's like the crazy thing. This has to be illegal, right? That a tournament organizer is letting certain individuals cheat and disadvantage others, like just breaking their own.
Oh, okay. So who got banned from a tournament that Wolf cheated in for doing the same thing that Wolf did? That's all you need to do here. You do that, oh my god, you have an argument. You actually probably have a lawsuit. Like, wait a minute. I did the same thing Wolf did, and Wolf was allowed to stay in the tournament, and I wasn't? Wait, why? What happened there? You have no argument. Because now it's not even against the rules. They may disqualify you. May!
Own rules for tens of thousands of dollars in prize money, and then also the Pokemon Company international corruption to cover this up from Game Freak. And we can prove it's a cover-up because it happened, like, we go to Worlds in Japan, and then we see record disqualifications like never before. Go back to America, and it just kind of goes away. How they were able to keep lying to the Pokemon Company and Game Freak after 2023 Worlds is crazy. And now we got Pokemon champions, but, like, what's the point? So all the people that have cheated for over a decade, like Wolf Glick, they just get away with it, and they get rewarded even more? No, that's not how it works. You gotta permanently ban all the cheaters, everyone caught at Worlds. Them's the rules. That's how all competition works. And then, again, Pokemon will grow like we've never seen before. So there you go, guys. Pokemon's dead. If you've been feeling like, yeah, no one's really playing.
Can I stop? Please? Can it stop? Like, I don't know. I don't know what to do. Because I enjoy criticizing people. Because I want to be that person who could come in here and instead of doing personal insult after personal insult after personal insult, I can look you dead in the eye. I could go, Verlisify, you are right. They cheated. It's time for you to get over it. It is 10 years later. Make your amends. Pray to whatever God you believe in. I don't know. Do what you need to do to be happy in life. But you are not getting your way. Sometimes bad people get their way. Sometimes bad people win. Sometimes you're in the right and you get screwed over. However, you need to know when enough is enough and when to give up. And this is it. Wolf is the best thing to happen in competitive Pokemon right now. He is the most popular. He is bringing views to the Pokemon channel. He is bringing fans that don't even watch Pokemon to watch the Pokemon channel. Like, he is my fiance's favorite Pokemon trainer. He probably even above me. He makes some of the best teams. He's the best Paris Trap player in the world. Like, I don't know what to tell you, man. And while you sit here and you complain about him and you cry about him and you demand that Pokemon do the right thing for you, everyone grew past you. That guy that you were criticizing who had only a couple thousand subscribers is now beyond you. And you have multiple YouTube channels, some like mine, that will grow off of people who hate you. And that is not fair. That's not cool. As one of your former fans, it sucks to see where you are right now. But I understand why you're there. Life is not fair sometimes. But you got to play with the cards you are dealt. And right now, you are 10 years into a vindictive, a sad, a depressing cycle of being the one person who cares about a subject. And you have to just come out and say, listen, I know you guys cheated. I'm going to fully admit you guys cheated. I don't like you guys. But enough is enough. You could become something in this Pokemon community again. You will never become what you once were. You are a disgrace to the Pokemon community. No one likes you. And it's a shame that that's the case even when you're right on subjects. But it is what it is. I mean, sometimes if it's the hill you want to die on, I mean, you die on the hill. I mean, that's fine. I'm not going to stop you. I don't care to stop you even. But, yeah. It's hard. I feel like a lot of my YouTube channel right now is going to be Pokemon content and me criticizing old people I used to watch. But if you want to follow a Pokemon YouTuber, I mean, as of right now, I am technically going to be a multi-game like content creator, but Pokemon is probably my main game, with Call of Duty Zombies being my secondary and Valorant being my third. Reaction content kind of being the second most popular thing on my channel would be the goal. I will be doing like Pokemon clips, Pokemon challenges, and reactions. I mean, if you are interested in more of these type of videos, please show some support. I just watched this much Verlisify content for you. I deserve a sub. But yeah, it is what it is. Thank you guys for watching. I appreciate each and every one of you guys, and remember, only you can help me become viral. Thank you.